What's up, everybody? This is Under the Shell 25, and today is kind of special podcast. First, because I've got a better camera, and second, because I'm kidding. We've got a new guest, and his name is Dobromir or Dobry, and he is going by the name of Rêve, right?
Yeah, kind of like
And
that.
he's a musician. He's from Bulgaria, living in the UK, and I speak French horribly, and he's gonna tell us now what's he's doing, what's he's all about. So, good evening, good day, gentlemen.
Hey
Tell
guys.
us something more about yourself, Dobry.
Right, so I am studying sound engineering for the last year in university. I've been working in music and audio for as a sound engineer for like 8 years or something like this, and I've been a musician since first grade when I started with classical guitar. Yeah, I'm primarily a sound engineer, but then on the side I have, as you said, my project Rêve, in which I do out metal, metalcore type of songs. Yeah, and I just released an EP a month and a half ago.
Which is kind of sick.
Thank you.
We were jamming Fallen before you came in.
Yeah,
Yes,
we were actually
love
doing
that.
our sound check with it.
So
Love that.
before we go any further, Dimitar,
Yeah.
how do you like our hair, man?
Well, you're compensating for me because I have
Both of
none.
us. Yeah, the two of us make the three of the people normal hair.
There you
Yo,
go.
I'm
That's
I'm
right.
go- I'm gonna let my beard grow, and it'll be longer than both of
Just
you. So
comb over the beard across.
Yeah, man. Or do the dreads thing that the five finger that
Oh,
Punch Bases has. That'd be cool.
that'd be so
yeah,
metal. You should totally do that.
Yeah.
they'll have so much complications in my everyday life.
Yeah.
Well, then get a new
True.
everyday life.
Check this
One-
out. I'm gonna open
one-
my beer
Okay,
with a fork.
Yes. Oh, the
that's how I
Bulgarian
know
way
you're
then.
Bulgarian.
Yeah. Yes. Love that. I'm on cappuccino because one of my friends was here and gave it to me. So
Yeah, and the blonde diva is drinking tea, so I guess
we have all the drinks.
we have all the drinks.
Yes.
Maybe Lindsay can have a cup of milk or something.
Something like that. Cool. All right, sweet. So the EP, right? How many songs did you do?
The EP is 6 songs in total. Fallen is the first single, and then when I dropped the EP, Cut Loose was the second one with it.
And how long did it take to put the compositions together, like the final product, to be able to release it?
So the actual ideas when I dropped my first EP back in 2017, I had some of the ideas. Fallen, for example, was which literally the main riff was written in 2017, a week after the first EP. But so as ideas, they were written some time ago, but I never had the time because I had clients in the studio and uni work and all that. But then when I started to actually record it, it took, I'd say, no more than 4 or 5 months because it wasn't constantly doing it. But yeah, I did it throughout the first lockdown of the pandemic.
Nice, man. That's awesome. Yeah. So what's been pandemic? Oh, is there any songs about your experiences during pandemic and like going through everything that's been in the air since obviously 2020?
I think Cut Loose is kind of touching on that, where like a lot of the things I saw in people and how they dealt with it felt wrong to me, and I feel like we need to reset our thinking and not think only about ourselves, but for other people as well. And so in Cut Loose, I touch on that. Well, yeah, I try to write both from my experience, but sometimes as well, some of the lyrics might not necessarily be something I experienced, but it might be a concept that I really dig.
Cool, man. That's sick. When I listened to Fallen, I felt like I was listening to. I heard a lot of like. I guess Breaking Benjamin would be the big one that stood out. Where? So
Yeah,
what other like? Where is that one of the influences? I imagine so.
Oh
Huh?
yeah, yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
like
Untitled Tattoo.
Oh, okay. There it is.
his
Perfect. Love
favorite
it.
band.
Oh,
One of my
wonderful.
favorite bands. Yeah, 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 dude. There. Well, so for that record, I would say their big influence. While She Sleeps is another huge influence on the riffage.
Cool.
Bring Me the Horizon, Lower Than Atlantis are a big influence on it, and maybe of Mice and Men.
Those are some great bands, man. I guess you I guess you're probably a fan of like David Bendis' work then, if you're into Breaking Benjamin and like.
David Ben, yeah, I've had a few chats with him during the years, just asking him stuff about Breaking Benjamin. But yeah, man, when I actually learned that he produced Paramore Benjamin of my all my favorite bands, I was like, wait a second, like,
You
Yeah.
just listed half of Wyatt's videos in YouTube right
yeah,
now.
I know, I know, I
Yeah.
know. I've watched a lot of those covers and reactions on Wyatt's
Oh.
channel.
Thank you. That's so cool. Yeah, I've had the privilege of speaking with Bendith too, and man, what a guy! He's so cool.
Yeah,
Like, what a
yeah.
life. He's
He's
Canadian.
literally,
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah. And like the knowledge from that guy, literally, like anything you ask him, it's just knowledge bombs after knowledge bombs.
Yeah, you gotta be careful because he can go, and
Oh
I love
yeah,
it.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
he's a gold mine.
yeah, yeah, hundred
For
percent,
sure.
man.
Very cool. So I noticed on your, I think it's your left. I'm not sure about the orientation with the camera, but you have a waveform. What is that?
Oh, so that's my first tattoo. Me and my girlfriend met through music. We were going on the same singing lessons 5, 6 years ago. And then when we started dating on the first year, we decided just to do a couple matching tattoo. So
Oh,
it's
that's
because
so
we are,
sweet.
yeah, we've been together through music, and yeah.
Oh, so I've seen it where there's apps where you can scan waveforms on skin and hear it.
Yeah,
Is that?
it's not one of those. It's one of the
Oh,
cheaper
okay.
Bulgarian versions, but
We should
Uh,
totally use the app on it and see what
You
comes
just
out.
imagine the sound.
yeah, yeah,
100%.
that's how you do it cheaper. But Wyatt, both of you guys have some sick sleeve game going on. Like both of you
Thanks.
are.
Yeah.
That's my next point.
Yeah, I've been thinking about tattoos a lot lately. I think I came up with one I want to get today. You guys know like the monkeys for like the see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil.
Yeah, yeah.
Omerta?
I think I'm gonna get what's it called?
Omerta?
Omorta?
Omerta.
Yeah.
It's like the code of honor or something of I think it first originated in the Italian mafia, and it was something like, a code of honor. You're swearing with your life on it that you're not gonna disclose anything. Everything stays within the family. You didn't hear, didn't see anything. You're not gonna say anything. And the monkeys are something like just graphical depiction of that.
Oh wow, that's like a completely different meaning than I thought. I mean, I better do some research before I execute that.
What was your
Well, that's
meaning
cool
behind
though.
it? What did you think of the meaning behind it?
Lindsay's reading a book
Let me
right
see.
now on. It's right on the table right there. It's a book on religions, and it has every religion in the book, and it starts at the very beginning of the book with like it's like chronological order based on when the religions started to come about, because a lot of them later on started to like, kind of
Mm.
jump into one another and was formed because of other influences, like anything, right? Anything human,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, true.
Yeah. So in the early of the book, there's I guess like versions of what eventually became like Taoism, and some of the versions of that, there was like the certain tribe of people had a code that was the reverse of the see no, do no, whatever. Their version was like the positive version. So instead of saying no evil, like speak no evil, see, it's like, sweetheart, what was the three? What, babe? Yeah. What was the three things from that book that you're saying right now? Your mantra. Good thoughts, good words, good deeds. So I'll have to get something along those lines.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah,
this is
I
kind of the code of honor of the mafia, if you think about it.
Yeah, kind of. Except theirs is more like don't snitch, don't snitch, don't snitch. It's what it
Yeah.
sounds like from what
Or
you
I'm gonna
just said.
fucking kill you.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's cool to have a positive reverse on it instead of using the negative sentence. That's really cool. Yeah, sick
Yeah.
idea, man.
I should totally. This has totally inspired me. I'm totally gonna come up with a crossover here where I can
Yeah.
have something that with the
Make
same
the
kind of
monkeys
imagery.
have mafia hats or something like that. Alright, cool.
Yeah,
I
that
love
would
it.
be nice.
Perfect. Yeah.
That would be cool. It's
Hell
like
yeah.
it's like with those, um, whenever you see somebody tattoo the pentagram or something, or any sigil of evil, and old people are just losing their shit. But actually, if you do a little bit of research, it has nothing to do with devils and stuff.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
right.
like
Actually.
on the other hand, I've literally had this. So one of my favorite bands is 30 Seconds to Mars. I don't know if you
Hmm.
can fucking see that.
Yeah.
I've had this with those symbols where people actually think it's something satanic, and it's literally just the band symbols.
Yeah,
It's the
Yo,
you
funniest
can
thing
just say
ever.
you're listening to rock music and you're being labeled as a Satanist like
I don't even
instantly.
need to say it with that hair. Oh, dude, yes, the triad. Love that.
Okay, so we're 10 minutes and 23 seconds into the podcast and we're getting with nudity.
Yes.
did
Well,
you
it's
enjoy
quite
that,
late
Dimitar?
actually. It should have been earlier.
If you need a second, Dimitar, you let me know. I'll take over.
uh, I'll make
Love
sure you
that.
can see my hands.
Yeah, that was my second tattoo.
Oh, actually, for me, yeah, it was my second tattoo as well. This one,
Very
love that,
cool.
dude.
Awesome.
Love
Get a
30 Seconds
room.
Mars.
Listen to better music. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
You know, when I was a teenager, I wanted to have a Slipknot tattoo so fucking bad. But good thing I was underage and nobody would want to do it. So good thing I didn't do it because now I don't listen to Slipknot as much, and it will be you know their logo, the S, like the
Yeah.
tribal S. Yeah, I would look like a douchebag right now. So
No, I
Yo,
dig it. I think it's really cool. So,
yeah, I think the S is so cool that I'll share a quick little fun fact for you guys. The W that is my logo is just their S, but with the in same font, but the W version of it.
love that.
Yeah,
Nice.
Lindsay
Love
made a
that.
when we first started a merch store. Lindsay made a parody sweater that was like, you know how they have the S in the center of like this crazy like 8 or 9 star
mhm.
pentagram. Uh,
Yeah.
we launched a sweater that was the W in the center of the same sweater design,
I
and then we
remember
had
that.
underneath we had Wyatt Stav, but in the full Slipknot font all the way underneath it, and then the W from that design is what stuck. I was like, yo, this has got to be my emblem. Let's just use it.
Yeah, it actually looks badass.
You, you
Love
you
that.
know you
Yeah,
know that actually this font is not Slipknot's, but it's actually Corns,
of
right?
course they all right. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see that.
yeah, they all. It's like the religions a moment ago. They all
Yeah,
everything leads to the next, right?
Intertwine.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
100%.
Or when Coldplay's album with the Flower of Life, and then you had Bring Me the Horizon with Sempiterno with the Flower of Life as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and then they
true.
got so mad and they got on the table. Remember that?
Yeah, Ollie had a
Yeah,
scene on the table where he just thrashed the place. I love
yeah.
that.
That was punk rock as hell. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would love to hear more about your writing process. So like what comes first, the instrumental or the lyrics or a version of both, or are you starting on an acoustic? How do you go about creating your melodies and your songs?
I always start with the instrumental. The lyrics come last. Even if I have like a melody in mind from the beginning, I wouldn't put lyrics until the actual final song is ready. But it's been different. When I was recording the first EP, I was doing it on acoustic and first find the structure. Whereas now I kind of go on the way of creating the riff first. If I have something that I think it's massive, then from the riff I'll go to the chorus and then verse breakdown and then add the vocals at the end. But it always starts with a guitar and drums only.
Cool. Right on. That's sick.
Well, you have a lot in common with that, right? This is what you're striving towards.
Oh, songwriting? Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I had my first vocal lesson with you guys both probably know him, Andy Sizek. Do you guys know the YouTuber?
Yeah, Andy from
Yeah.
Monuments, dude.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Sick.
yeah.
Had my first vocal lesson with him last night, and then after this, I've got another one of my guitar lessons. I've been on guitar now for I think 6 months, and then vocals. I started vocals a couple weeks ago with my guitar teacher, who also does like he specializes in the instrument, but he knows a thing or two kind of thing. And then Andy now is stepping in to like really help me with that. So yeah, I am
Dude.
kind of moving away from the kit and just stepping into songwriting as a whole. And I was like, well, I have uh, the idea or have the ability to manage rhythm. I just have no concept of melody or harmony. And I didn't
Mm.
have the ear for it until very recently working inside of like the C major scale and like introducing the relative minor, like A minor and So that's where I'm kind of at with that. Yeah, and I'm like, I have the goal of within the next 5 years putting out my own music, just putting something together. So
Yeah, dude, that's sick. Yeah, the first time I heard someone famous doing something similar to what I was doing without even realizing it was Caleb Shomo from Beartooth. The guy rips where he like does everything by himself. I love that.
yes, and the big one for me right now is Mod Son. Mod Son and me are like, I'm so
Yeah.
close to his story right now
Mm.
because he was a drummer. He played for, I don't know if you know the band Scary Kids Scaring Kids. He
Yeah,
played
yeah.
for
I
that
was reading.
band,
Yeah.
and yeah, and then he played for another, and now he's like a vocalist as his own project. So I'm like, Caleb Shoma did it too. And speaking of Caleb Shoma, did you check out his latest release, Devastation?
Yeah,
Whoa.
that was yeah. It came out of nowhere as well. I just saw a post from Beartooth like the day before.
Wow, what a song, man. Damn.
Yeah,
Blew
it's
my
been
mind.
the last few months have been just sick music constantly. While She Sleeps, the new Nervous track, dude. Like
Oh my
that was
god.
huge.
I haven't gotten to that one yet, but that's saved for the channel. That's the reason. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah, you're gonna
sick track.
react to it.
Yeah, of course.
I'm right now. I was on URW before we
Yeah,
started.
that was actually my
Uh
second question. I'm just playing with. Is that is that your? This is really strange. I can never talk with anybody if I'm not playing with something in my hands, or if I'm not walking all over the place. I don't know
Yeah,
if anybody else does it, but I just can't sit like in one place doing nothing and speaking on the phone or
if I'm
video
on the
or
phone,
whatever.
same. Yeah, yeah. When I'm on the phone, I just walk around in circles.
I just do my cardio while speaking on the phone, man. I mean, I'm just
oh yeah,
walking
Ten
all over
thousand
cardio.
the place.
steps.
Oh,
Yeah.
I literally do cardio on the phone. I like that one actually. I got the
Love
stand up bike. I'll put someone on speaker and just why are you breathing so heavy? I'm doing cardio. Keep quiet. Keep going.
that. Love that.
What are you
Don't worry.
wearing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dimitar, that's like the third time, bro. Wow, hands up. Okay, I don't want to know what you're fiddling with. Damn.
The Bulgarian inside is just speaking.
Yeah. It's just too strong.
Love that.
Okay, so what was your question, Dimitar?
Yeah, I was just about because as we're recording, the streaming quality of the videos is not so good. So the logo looks familiar, and I was about to say, is that the Your We album? But you already answered. So you know, back to your project. So you're based in the UK right now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And how long have you been there?
So me and my girlfriend came in 2018 to start studying in university. So it's been 2 and something years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
Cool.
you so you oh sorry, go.
No, no, no.
I was just gonna ask about like the transition out of Bulgaria. Like, so what was that like for you? And had you traveled a lot prior to, or was it like a first time kind of thing? Like, what was the experience like for you?
It was quite weird. So I've only been to Bucharest in Romania and then to Turkey once or twice. So I haven't been traveling outside of Bulgaria a lot. And even though it's on the same continent, like you would think that it's not that different socially, but it had a lot of differences. That's why I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
if I go to America or Canada, it will be even bigger difference. But yeah, it was. So for example, back in Bulgaria at school, you get two types of English teachers. Either ones that learned the American English or ones that learned the British English. And so I got a mash of them and never got like just one or the other. And so when I came here with the slang that they use and some of the just sayings that they have, I was just completely not realizing what the fuck is happening the first few months. It was weird. It was
Yeah, I
weird.
bet, man. We've Dimitar and I have talked a little bit about this, and that was something that
Yeah.
stood out right away when you came into the call. You had an English accent, and I was like, wait, so both from Bulgaria, but one went with the American accent, the other went with the English accent. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
Yeah.
yeah.
neat.
This is actually because we know each other through internet and Facebook. We've never met in person, and we've always chatted in Bulgarian, obviously.
Yeah.
But once I heard, and I heard his songs, but you can't really tell in the song what his
No.
accent is.
No.
And the first time I watched, because he did a Q&A video recently, and I was just curious, so I just watched it. And then when I heard him speaking, I was like, "Whoa, this guy's got some British in him," you know.
Yeah, man. It's
And yeah,
well,
but
I
I'm
guess
more
when you're surrounded with like your coworkers and whatever, everyone is speaking in the British way, and you kind of just go go
Yeah,
on it.
yeah,
100%. Isn't it strange how that happens? Like, if you even if you spend a lot of time with somebody who maybe it's not a different accent entirely, but a different like take on your accent, I guess with the slang or the subculture within the country that you're living in, you kind of like notice yourself after a day or two of chilling with this person, like saying some of the things they say, and then you might catch them say something you say, like, okay,
Yeah,
all right, I
yeah,
see what you
yeah,
did.
100%.
yeah, yeah. Well,
And
well, this
then,
is
yeah,
sorry.
I was just going to say, and then the other thing is, I don't know if Wyatt speaks any other languages, but I found it weird where on this when you go to the second language, so for me Bulgarian then English, you kind of lose some of your character. It's really weird, and I can't explain it. But you, the personality that I have with Bulgarian friends when I've been talking to them kind of changes when I am speaking in English, and it's subconscious. It's not me forcing it or anything. It's a weird
Whoa,
experience.
You're getting
whoa.
fancier.
Man. So
Yeah,
I have a
yeah.
question. When writing the lyrics for your songs, they're in English. So how like do you come up with the ideas? Like when you think in your head, what language is it? And do you come up with the ideas in that language and then switch it over? Or do you like how does that go? How does that work with somebody with multiple languages? Excuse me, I have no
So
idea because I know two words in French.
I'm the same. I just know one sentence in French, but I really dig the language, so I need to learn it.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, man. Look, so I'm still thinking in Bulgarian, even though I've had situations when I'm sleeping. I sleep talk sometimes. I'm just talking on my in my sleep, and my girlfriend told me that at some point of our staying in the UK, I started talking in English instead of Bulgarian, which was weird. Um,
Whoa.
Well,
but
it's not
then,
so weird actually.
yeah, I guess when I'm the whole day I'm talking in it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, when I'm thinking of lyrics, it's I just think of them in English, and it's weird. Whenever I've tried to write a Bulgarian lyric, I don't feel as advanced in writing lyrics in Bulgarian as I am in English, which is really weird.
I have a theory about it, because I live in Bulgaria, but for good or bad, I notice myself more and more actually thinking in English. And I can safely say that whenever I have, self talk or anything, it's in English, which is strange. But then again, it's not so strange because, first, all the music that I'm listening to, it's English. The books that I'm reading, 95% English. Um, I'm speaking with Wyatt on a regular, almost daily basis. And everything that I consume, read, and do, on top of that, I have a YouTube channel. I have to speak in front of a camera. And just Bulgarian becomes less and less part of my life, which results in, when I'm speaking with somebody in Bulgarian in person, I start using these mixed words and sentences, and
Same, same.
English is just becoming bigger and bigger part in my vocabulary, and it really pisses some people off because they're like, "Speak in Bulgarian. You're
Dude, I
Bulgarian."
literally have a story for that. When we dropped the single and then the EP, we had like a press kit done, send it to a lot of UK websites and whatnot, and some Bulgarian ones. And the Bulgarians that released like the publications about the EP, there were some things literally like the video director. If you say director in Bulgarian, it's not literally
Completely
this.
different
Yeah,
meaning. Yeah,
but then me like not being able to process everything 100% now. I had
yeah,
some words that didn't sound right, and the comments, people didn't give a fuck about the music, which I hated. They were just talking about how it's not purely Bulgarian and how I've changed because I'm in the UK. It was just so funny. Like,
yeah.
That had to be
It's
tough.
happening.
yeah.
That had to be
No, just
tough. How
stop
did
giving a fuck at some point.
Oh, okay, true.
I mean, it's mostly elderly people who are giving you shit about it, but occasionally there are one or two trolls out there which
Yeah.
they just try to get something and to get you in some way. But yeah,
So
I
I have a
mean,
question now, if you don't mind, Dimitar, real quick. My
absolutely.
question is, when you released the music and you experienced that, among other things, I imagine, what were like, what personally for you was it difficult to like? Was it difficult to? I mean, it's a very personal experience releasing music for the first time, getting through doing that and like having haters of any kind, having negativity of any kind. Obviously, there's a lot of equal proportion positivity, most likely, but the other side of the coin. How did you come to grips with the nature of things in that regard? Because like I personally have definitely dealt with my fair share of internet bullshit. So I'm
Yeah.
curious to see like how what was that like for you? Or was there anything
Well,
specific you could share? Be like, this time really sucks, but here's how I got through it, or something like that.
yeah, so I think I had some stamina built before, because I've been releasing covers and whatnot for years before that. And I've had especially when I was way younger, around 2012, 2013, when I was doing some pop songs as well, I've had some huge amounts of hate coming on them. And so I kind of built the stamina on that. But yeah, I find it that with the Bulgarian, for example, some of the Bulgarian websites that shared the EP and whatnot, I found a lot of people being like, well, yeah, it's a good product, but I hate it because I don't listen to that genre. There would always be a but. And I kind of feel like people should be just more open. And even if you don't enjoy it, you should just say congratulations on the production or something, just say something good or don't say anything at all. But yeah, I think the way I've dealt with it is you always see it. It's not like I can say, oh, I'm not looking at it, I don't care. I still feel like I care because I would check the comments every time and see if there is something negative. And I feel like for us creative people, sometimes the negative comment can be way worse than a positive one. As in, like it gives you more emotion when it's a negative one than a positive one. But I just try to suppress this and just think about the positive stuff that's coming around the music, because there is a fair share of that one as well.
Yeah, of course. Usually it's like 90% positive, or not even 99. Like out of 100 comments, all 99 are great. And then you get that one, it's like, that mother, I'm going to find that mother, I'm going to.
Yeah, yeah. And it's
Yeah.
weird because, like, or for example, the fact that when on videos, when I see, I don't know if you've had that, but you get a dislike or 10 dislikes or whatever, and it just gets me thinking, for the 10 or 12 years I've been watching videos on YouTube, there isn't a one video I have disliked. Literally, if I don't like something, I just click out of it.
You just
I
skip it.
don't. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I just don't get people that spend the time to click on something and then proceed to just dislike it.
Yeah, I think I've thought about this a lot because I'm obviously, yeah, I release videos, so these things have come up for sure. And like the only thing that's made sense to me, at least for my explaining away and my own sanity over the years, is just that like the frequency that you have to be at to be the type of person who wants to indulge in that sort of behavior is just so far in whatever direction away from where you need to be the person who can put out the material that that person is going to engage with in that way. So like it's just not your end of the world. Like we could never come to grips with whatever that pain is that that person's going through to inspire that
Yeah,
type of behavior, you know what I'm saying? So
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the only
and
way I can justify it to myself. Be like a
it's a great
fucking
way of
asshole.
thinking. Yeah,
I
or
don't know. I
yeah,
don't know how it's going with non-Bulgarian people, but this is actually almost a national. I don't know. It's part of our portfolio because
What's
we
that to
have
hate
the
online?
yeah, we have
Oh,
this unique
fuck.
ability to always find the negative in something good.
yeah,
And I've had this like a lot of times because whenever I release, let's say, drum cover or something, and I'm sharing it on my Facebook page, on my private profile, and a bunch of Facebook groups like metalcore groups, drummer groups, and whatever. So I share one of my drum covers in this drummer Facebook group, and
That's
most of the
dangerous.
people, that's dangerous.
Yeah,
Most
you
of the
just don't do that.
people are like really enjoying, and they comment. If they comment at all, it's something positive. But there are just like these two or three guys who, just by looking at their profiles and looking at their pictures, they've never ever played in front of people. They've never released anything. They've never made any kind of content, whatever. Doesn't matter if it's a song or video, a teaching lesson, whatever. But every time I post something, they'll be like, you know not a bad video, but at this second you're going a little bit fast. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, this is quantized. Like,
Yeah.
I
I
get
get
it.
you.
You need to say something clever, but like this is quantized. So yeah, and
100%.
it's like happening almost every time, and it's hilarious. So you living in Bulgaria, you learn to deal with this pretty fast. Doesn't matter what you're doing, you're getting a lot of, well, it's not hate, but a lot of unnecessary criticism, I guess. So we're kind of
Yeah.
immune by birth here.
It's kind of like a good example is we have a actor called Maria Bakalova who
Yeah,
acted
yeah.
in
Please tell about it.
she was the secondary role on Borat, the second movie for Borat. She was the one acting with what was his name, Sasha. And so a Bulgarian 24-year-old or something like this literally just finished university and got a role that is like a Hollywood movie. Had a nomination for Golden Globes, now is nominated for the Oscars, which this is like something that doesn't happen for Bulgarian actors. And still there were lecturers of hers and actors in Bulgaria who would be like with 20 years of experience or whatever, and they've never had nominations like this, and she is with 1 year experience having all of this, and they were shit talking over her, and I'm just like, how the audacity, like just be happy for the person, like.
Yo, in the same train of thought, last no, it was 2019 when the Joker came out. What, did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch that movie.
You
No.
should. It's
Okay.
it's it's a great movie.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with superheroes and DC Marvel bullshit.
Oh, I love
It's
superheroes, so you're talking me out of it now.
Reverse that statement, it's a
just
good superhero.
just fucking watch it. So it's great. Like, Joaquin is doing the best job ever as the actor for the Joker. And he got a, did he receive the Oscar? He did, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he did,
So he,
yeah.
he received the Oscar, and there is this, as Dobry said, this Bulgarian actor who never even, I guess, starred in such a big movie. And he was at a talk show, like the morning talk shows, like the worst, where morning talk shows, nothing good comes out of them. So he's at a morning talk show on a national TV, and he says, he's being asked about his opinion because he's like one of the famous actors here, and he's been asked about his opinions on the newest Joker movie, and he was like, eh, everybody can pretend they're mentally sick. I mean, it's nothing so complicated. If I would go there, I would get an Oscar too. And like the whole Bulgarian community went nuts for like 3 days.
Yeah.
This guy became the meme of internet, like here in Bulgaria.
But then the other thing is, I found in British, Canadian, and American media, for example, the media stay in the middle where they don't hate an artist or an actor, but they don't praise them either. So that depending on the situation, they can shit talk or not shit talk about them. But what Bulgarian media does is a complete opposite. Bulgarian media starts with the shit talk. So when Maria Bakalova had the film released, a lot of shit talk. She sucks. She can't act or whatever. And then once she had the Oscar nomination, the media just went, "We love her. She is amazing. She's the best actor." And it's like, really,
Bulgaria is famous again. Yeah.
yeah,
That's brutal, man. What the fuck? All y'all need to chill. Smoke some
Welcome
weed.
to Eastern Europe, man.
I feel like
Damn,
if
bro.
anyone from us three, that would be Wyatt, who has, because you have a big amount of views, so you have a scale on hate ratio and love ratio that is way bigger than what we would ever experience. And I feel like the way you
True.
deal it is perfect, man. Like, because I see some of your videos, and it looks as if, and I'm sure you don't give a crap about any of the negative comments that might happen, which is sick.
He's probably the chillest guy that I know. So
Me? I'm
Yeah.
the chillest guy,
yeah,
you know? Oh, sick.
imagine the people that I know.
Yo, for real. Yo, listening to you, listening to both of you talk about Bulgaria, my man, I cannot imagine the people you know. like, no
Yeah.
hate whatsoever. I love y'all, but damn, some of the stories out your mouth
Yeah.
these days, I'm like, sheesh.
If you come there, you'll come for the nature, not not for the
Gotcha.
Yeah, we've
comments.
got beautiful nature wherever it's not polluted.
Yo,
Yeah.
Dobromir, I'm going to be, I don't know when because it's COVID's messing up all our plans as for everybody, you know how it is, but I'm going to be shipping DimitarK out to Canada for a couple weeks at some point so he can experience what our culture is like. And like I
Yes.
don't know where you're at right now because I haven't been over to that side of the pond and experienced English culture there, but obviously this culture kind of came from there and like I imagine it's pretty similar. So what do you think Dimitar is going to like the best about the trip over here?
Um,
Like,
something
what have
though.
you liked the best, and then we'll kind of work back from there.
So something that was immediate, like what the fuck moment for me is people on first impression are really polite. Bulgarians are really polite as well. But if you go to a shop, for example, and you ask someone something, they'll be like
Nothing.
not polite at all, like complete opposite of that. They wouldn't want you to be there. Whereas English people a lot of times would be, even on the street, if you meet something, they'll be really polite towards you. That was a big shock for me in the beginning. And
Wow,
yeah, yeah,
damn, I take this
it's
shit for
weird.
granted.
I,
Damn.
I have a,
Yeah.
I have a story to back up this, um, because maybe it's 2 almost 3 months now that I changed the way not the way, the place where I live here in
Yeah.
Bulgaria, and I'm in this new neighborhood which I really like, and I wanted to live here like for so long, and I finally do, and I'm just walking around the streets, around the block, learning the new stores, the new cafes, whatever. And I'm walking into this like store, I guess, which is kind of like a supermarket, but a really shrink down small version. And I'm buying something. I don't remember what. And I reach into my back pocket and I just pull out, some bill, but it was just all scrambled because I'm a mess. And yeah, it was just
Okay.
All right then.
it was just like
Fucking
a,
Dimitar.
a ball. It was all wrinkled, and I'm trying to straighten it out, but I'm hanging it to the cashier, which is this lady about, I don't know, 60 maybe, my favorite type of person. And she's like, she doesn't know me. She sees me for the first time in her life. I see her for the first time in my life, and I'm just buying something, and I'm even polite. I'm saying hello, good day, and she's like,
Yeah, that's the politeness
ho-
level for Bulgarians.
yeah, and, and
Okay,
and she's
3
like
words.
holding the
Sick.
bill between her two fingers, like this, like this, and she's like, "Do you consider this money?" And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "This is all wrinkled up. It's scrambled." And I'm like, "Yeah, I can see that. I'm sorry." She's like, "This is disrespectful." And I'm like, "You know what? If you don't want to take it, just give it back to me. I'll go to the store with free stuff, I guess." And we were like having this death
That's
stare
what you said to her. I'll
contest.
go out the store with free stuff. You just like, if you don't take that, I'm stealing everything you have.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck.
Yeah,
All
and
right,
we're just
continue with the.
having this like 1 minute long death staring contest, and she's like, "Fine," and she's just like returning some change, and I was like, "Have a good day," and she replied nothing, and I just went out the store. So this is
Yeah.
as much as Bulgarian politeness goes.
every time I'm in the store, I would be like, "Hello," especially since I'm living here, so my politeness level went to the roof when I'm back
Yeah.
there, and so I'll be like, "Hello, how are you?" Whatever, and then if I have a say 20 left note, but my stuff is for 4 left, for example, and I give it, and they'll just dead stare at me and be like, "Don't you have change or something?"
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
that's true. That's true.
Oh my
But then
god.
I don't know how it's in Canada, but another thing I found for UK, that's the other opposite difference, is Bulgarians are not so polite when you first meet them. But then I found that in Bulgaria, on the second sentence with someone, you can be friends now. You can go to the cafe, drink beer or something. You immediately, like, there is no barrier or anything. Whereas in the UK, everyone is polite, but I feel like it takes some time to get people's trust and actually take off the barrier where they're actual friends and you can, like, count on them. It's kind of
Oh.
a weird shift, yeah.
Yeah, that's super interesting. I would say in certain subcultures that I'm a part of, especially the music one, it can be the case that you were described in Bulgaria, but overall, most people are kind of a degree. They're degrees of fake until you erode them away. That's what I would say. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
that's a good way. Yeah, and explaining it
that's
definitely.
that's super interesting though, because it says almost as if like the starkness, the dryness in it allows for a level of authenticity to be reached much quicker, where the interaction like happens, and then if both sides are in, we're best friends. It's just like done. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
super. That's
Yeah.
super interesting to think about.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
and mostly whenever this happens, like instant friendship or instant some kind of conversation, or let's go drink a coffee, drink a beer, whatever. What I at least this is how I explain it this to myself is like in countries like UK, Canada, US, or as we call it in Bulgaria, white countries, and this is in no
What the fuck?
way in no way regarding any skin tones or stuff,
I was about to
but
say,
we
Dimitar, do you got something to tell me? Like, what?
no,
No,
no.
yeah, that's the way. That's
Wh-
the saying in back home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
white
we
countries.
call white countries the countries that have their shit together, like good government, or good way of living, good
Huh?
laws. I guess, yeah. This is
Those are
just,
white countries.
yeah.
Bulgarian isn't one of them.
We are
No.
not
What
one
color
of
is
them.
Bulgaria? It's like blue.
We're like the black is black. This
Oh
this
my
much.
god.
And
Fuck.
yeah, again,
This is
no
like
racism implied whatsoever.
literally just like nothing to do with the skin. I guess like the
No,
United
nothing to do
States
with the skin
has
tone.
the, the three worlds, right? There's like first, second, third.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and yeah. So in the white countries, where people are generally like in the middle class, they have somewhat good job, a somewhat good way of living. They're between in the sweet spot between like rich and poor, and everybody's having their life, and they're more held back because I don't know why. This is the way I explain it. Whereas in Bulgaria, everybody's pretty much fucked up in some way, and money is always tight. The government is fucking you up on every corner. You're dealing with shit that you shouldn't have to, and this is just like bringing people together. It's just like you can connect so fast over some hurdle, over some struggle, which is so common for for a whole nation,
Mm.
that you can like, I can go on the street right now in this very moment. I can go down in front of my block. I could chat up the first guy ever to pass by, and I would say something like along the lines of, man, these gasoline prices are just insane. And he'll be like, I know, right?
yeah,
Yo, wanna have a beer?
yeah.
No
Hundred
fucking way.
percent. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
dope though.
yeah.
Shit.
It's a weird phenomenon. Like you definitely I think that's why a lot of other countries that have been in Bulgaria, they say Bulgarians are really open, they're really polite in a way. But I don't think they talk about the first interaction. They talk about everything after the first interaction.
Okay.
Yeah, true. And like the majority of people, not everybody, but like a huge part of them, they would be like really polite and good to you when you first meet them. They would even speak properly because we have a lot of dialects and stuff here.
Yeah.
They would be like they would bring their best self forward. But as soon as your conversation is over and you part ways, he'll turn around and tell his guys, "What a fucker." You
Really?
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's really, really
So
strange
yeah,
country.
to a big degree, like not 100%, like a big degree is like just faking it, and yeah, there are good
Gotcha.
people though, but they're rare.
So, what do you think Dimitar's favorite part of coming to Canada will be?
I'll probably get
Uh,
into a fight.
I'll kick your
so
ass. Let's go.
one of the problems he might have as a Bulgarian is being too straight to the point, saying whatever he thinks, because that's something that
Oh yeah.
Bulgarians have.
Oh
Whereas
yeah.
I found that Western countries kind of back things up because they're just, I don't know, afraid because of the stigmas right now and not to offend anyone. Whereas in Bulgaria, it's dropped to a way lower level. So you can speak your mind and what you want to say, and that sometimes can be a problem in the other
Yeah.
countries.
Dude, I have that same problem here though. Like
Yeah.
my parents are my family, my heritage is technically like Slovakian and German. So
Love that.
I was like my parents also they spoke their mind, and like a lot of my closest friends are like they're immigrants or like second generation, third generation immigrants where they were raised in the same sort of similar way. So like we have that, and then I'll go places and I'll always fuck that up. That's something even for me. Like I grew up here, but I still like I
Yeah,
grew up in a
yeah,
house that was that way for sure. You know what I mean?
You've got
To degrees,
Europe.
but what's
yeah,
up?
You've got Europe inside you.
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure, man. I think that's why you and I vibe so much because we call each other on our bullshit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I just dig that. I hate sometimes when people are too careful with what they're saying. You kind of lose the generosity of someone and their personal character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
like
sure,
just
exactly.
before we started recording this and just before you joined this conversation, me and Wyatt were talking because we were first on the platform, and he was like, "Yo, check this out! I got new pants," and he's showing me his new pants. I'm like, "Dude, you look like a construction worker."
Love that.
Yeah, not that they're not cool, but like no
That was
filter
what my
whatsoever.
mother. That was what my mother always told me when I buy something weird.
You
Yeah.
look like
Clothing
a
wise.
construction worker. No way. Oh shit. Yeah.
Love that.
Okay. Well.
And now is the awkward silence.
But
Yep.
yeah, some other weird things. For example, for here when I came was obviously partly with the driving being the opposite side. Like
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
what side do you guys drive on in Bulgaria?
the correct side,
the normal
the
one.
correct side. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Well,
right
I
one.
don't. Right, like the right side or the left side?
Right.
You drive
Right.
on the
Yeah.
right. We
Right.
drive on the right
Yeah.
too. We drive on the right too.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
the normal
Yeah.
side. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
That's the
normal.
normal.
Is that like
Yeah.
is if you average it out, most countries do that side?
absolutely,
I
Oh,
absolutely.
think
okay.
I think it's less than 5 countries in the world or something like this do the opposite
I
side.
think it's
But
Something
it's
like that.
big
Japan, if I'm
fucking
not wrong,
countries like
and
Australia,
UK. Yeah, and Australia.
Japan. You know, what's China got? I don't know what China does.
China's normal, I think.
China's normal.
I think
Yeah,
I
Hong
think
like
there
Kong.
was.
real. It's like
Yeah.
there's 196 countries, and like the five of the most cultural influential countries went with the left side,
Yeah.
and then
They
everybody
just
else
wanted
is
to
right.
be edgy, be
I
different.
guess so, dude. What the fuck? I have like one of my closest friends in the world is from Australia, and when he moved over here, he was driving around with his Australian friend who had moved over together, and then the friend since has I think has moved somewhere else, but um, that's not the point. The point is that they were oftentimes like causing traffic jams because of their oh shit we're in the wrong lane, like literally
Yeah.
on the fucking road trying to get used to it. Because it's
Love
like one of
that.
those things. It's like if you let your guard, like you think you know how to drive, and if you let your guard down for like 2 seconds, you're in the wrong side of the road. You're like, Oh shit!
What have you ever driven like a car with the wheel on the right?
No, I've never. No.
I did it
That's even worse.
once.
Yeah, yeah.
I drove for like 50 meters and I just turned off the car and I said, fuck it, I'm walking. Whoever wants to drive that, I'm not gonna be
So,
the one.
Dobromir, do you drive in like where you live now?
No, sadly, I didn't get the fucking license. I should have.
Yeah.
But like, when my father was like, "Oh, are you going to get one?" I was like, "I'm going to UK. You know, trains, sub, everything is in here, so I don't need a car." But I was really wrong. I actually needed a car.
Oh, so you just
Yeah.
take like transit now is worked out in the long run, or?
Yeah, well, I am 30 minutes away from central London, but it's still like it's considered a different town, and the town that I'm in is really small, so that's to my advantage. Like the university is a 2 minute walk, and then my work is a 2 minute walk, so it's easy. But when I'm in London, it won't be a problem. But then going outside of London is shit because the trains are so expensive.
Oh,
The car is
really?
way
Are
cheaper
they?
to actually, yeah.
Oh.
So, for example, car drive from my place to Birmingham, no, to Brighton, for example, would be what, like, because I've gone with car to there, would be 20, 25 pounds, something like this for gas. But then if I want to go with the train, because need to go to London first, it's about 160 pounds for two people. So,
What the
like,
fuck?
the difference,
Whoa.
yeah. Train is
That
fucking
that
expensive.
to convert that's 218 US dollars.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
Dude, I
It's
can take the
You must
train
have a
here.
hell of a salary there, man.
I can
Oh
take
my god.
I can take train here for like $12 or something.
same. Like when I was back home, if I wanted to go from my hometown, which was closer to the coast of Bulgaria than to the capital, the train journey with my school discount or whatever when I was in high school would be like $7 or something like this for the two-way, and it's like a 300 and something kilometer distance, so it's really cheap. Whereas in here, if I want to go to London right now with my discount, it will cost me about $20 for a 45-kilometer
Whoa, what the
drive.
hell?
But then
That's crazy.
again, Wyatt doesn't know about our glorious railroads.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Man, so we've been talking about Bulgaria. We've been talking shit. We've been talking some hard stuff.
Yeah.
But nothing ever is as hardcore and fucked up as our railroads company.
Yeah,
It's
Really?
yeah.
like you're like literally driving a Chernobyl. You're like,
Driving at Chernobyl on the train. What?
yeah, it's like,
Walk me through this, Dimitar.
oh my god, it's just so much. Well, recently, like the recent 10 years, they started buying new trains which are less than 25 years old. Um,
Oh,
Yeah,
oh fuck.
those
but
are the
like,
new ones.
yeah, but like the ones that me and I guess Dobry grew up with, they were like when we were kids, they were like 40 years old, and everything inside was just screaming about communism and stuff like
Yeah.
this, and the seats, the curtains, the famous curtains of our railroads, they were never washed, never ironed, nothing. I mean, everything stayed the same from the day that they were manufactured.
Curtains. You don't have like tinted windows or something? What the fuck are you doing?
Nah,
Bro, our windows didn't even
nothing like this.
you didn't have like a rolling, like the windows should have been moving up and down, in some kind of a mechanism. But our windows were like digital. They were either 0 or 1. You cannot
Yeah.
open it or you cannot close it.
So you're fucked if it's summer and you're in a cabin that can't open the window. You're
You're
fucked because
fucked.
there's no
But if
AC.
but if it's winter and you're in a cabin that you cannot pull it up, you're
Yeah,
fucked again because you're dying out of cold.
yeah.
And
But I
like,
think
My
the
god.
worst part about it would be those 330 kilometers that I said about the train from my hometown to the capital take about 7.5 hours.
True.
So it's so fucking slow.
The train is like moving with like max 30 to 40, and if it's 40, it's
What the
considered the fast one. Like
Yeah.
it's
So
more expensive, and it's like a maximum of 40 kilometers per hour.
in
Wow.
comparison, if I'm to go from London to Sofia by with the plane, the I don't know how far is it, 2.5 thousand kilometers, something like this is the distance. It will take me about 2 hours and 20 minutes on plane, something like this, to cross the two countries. Whereas if I want to go from Sofia to my hometown, it will be then 7 hours on the train.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's true. That's
Oh
true.
my
Yeah.
god, dude.
Yeah.
And
Yo.
then you have two rules of the railway. The first rule is if there isn't at least an hour delay of the train doesn't go. It needs to be at least an hour delayed before it goes. And then the second rule is if there isn't at least one smelly guy with a 2 liter of beer, or at least one madman who is playing something and is just
Minimum.
crazy out of their mind, yeah, minimum, the train doesn't go. They need at least one of those.
Of course. Obviously, yeah, that makes
And
Yeah.
the
total
third and
sense.
the third rule is don't even think about using the restroom.
Yeah,
why?
You're gonna
It's just-
die
yeah,
instantly.
yeah, it's
Like
just not, yeah. And
you,
like
you will catch
I've-
everything there.
I've had situations where it's the person who I've communicated in the cabin seems so out of their mind that I'm afraid they might have a bomb or something in the train. Like I've had situations like this.
What
But
the
then again,
fuck?
why would it blew this up? I mean, it sucks already. So
Yeah, true.
Yeah, what are you blowing up, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yes,
that's true.
you're doing us a
Dimitar-
favor, man. Yeah.
Dimitar, I'm gonna blow your fucking mind when you come here, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You're
blow
gonna be
your
like
mind. You're gonna
train
swear.
journey that is not 7 hours.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna swear that you like were cryo freezed and you woke up in the future or something. Like just basic
Yeah,
ass
yeah.
shit. Like I can take a train and not deal with that. You know, fuck.
You should
I'm
have
sorry.
seen
I
my
don't mean to say
parents
it
when
like
they
that,
came
but
to UK. They were just literally blown away by some of the
Oh.
stuff in here.
I bet, dude. That's so cool though. It's really cool that you got the opportunity to do what you're doing and having a good time
Yeah.
doing it. So that's lit.
100%. Yeah, I've been planning this since ninth grade or something like this. Since I was in
Nice.
high school, I wanted to come and study in here. So it's cool that it finally happened, and now it's
Yeah.
almost over, which is
So
But
I'm
are you gonna
up for
stay
the
when you're
year.
done? Probably, right?
that was my question. Yeah. Even though I think I know the
Yeah.
answer, but
So
Stay.
for
I was
now,
just-
the idea is to stay at least for a bit. The idea is going to London because obviously London is kind of the gateway for music in Europe.
Yeah.
Everything happens in here. So and then I am audio engineering. My girlfriend is music marketing, so both of us are in the music industry. So we're thinking of staying, and then even if we decide to go back or change countries or anything, at least we have experience in bigger companies because like that can help when we go if we go back. I think the one thing that might be a problem is, as I said, the social life and the interaction with people is quite different. So I don't know if we'll be able to like adapt like 100% to it. And if I'm not happy, I don't see a point in staying, even if I win more money or anything.
So okay, so you're not going back. You're gonna try and stay and then see how it goes. Is that what you said? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
try
gotcha,
and travel to London
Yes.
and
yeah.
try studio work in there. And
Cool.
then anyway, my final goal is freelancing as an engineer. So at some point, if I have built like a client base, even if I'm in Bulgaria or France or Canada or wherever, nowadays it always happens on the internet. So like, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I
Wyatt
feel you
hears
there.
Canada and he's like, oh.
I do. I love my country. I'm proud of it. I do freelance drum session tracking. So I totally can relate on that because if it wasn't for 2020, everything just like for online work just like exploded, and it like
Yeah.
my god, the amount of work that came my way on like all fronts because I'm primarily internet based was just insane. So I can 100% relate to that that last comment about the state, especially for an engineer. Like, and I have friends that are the same way, like out of Detroit, that literally like they mix bands constantly. But I'm like, do you ever see these people? They're like, no, we watch the videos, but like
Yeah,
because you don't need to. You
yeah.
just get stems and you get to work and you send it back and you're done. So
Yeah, I've had, even when I was in Bulgaria, I've had edit jobs for producers in America or UK, and I wouldn't know them at all, but I'm still working with them on clients and whatever. And then now that I'm here, I worked on a project on which Dimitar was playing the drums, and it's a
Yeah,
Bulgarian project, so I haven't met them too either, but I'm working on
but
it.
I have.
Yeah.
Actually, Wyatt has talked with the guy. We did it. I recorded the drums, and and Dobry did all the rest for the Metal Chef that we had on this podcast.
oh yeah, he was a cool guy. Hell yeah, that was
Yeah,
sick.
he and
Metal Chef.
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, I'm gonna be a guest in his channel in the near
All that.
future. So we're gonna cook and
Vegetarian, I assume.
yeah, right. And
That was the most Bulgarian fucking yeah, right. Men eat meat.
and I will actually ask him to put on subtitles on the video because it's gonna be in Bulgarian. So
Oh, so I can
Wad
check it
can
out.
so Wad can check it out and he can hear me like speak Bulgarian for a
In
prolonged
your
time.
natural habitat.
Yeah, in my natural habitat.
Yeah. Dude,
Love
yeah,
that.
we heard you spoke Dimitar 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Lindsay was on the podcast, and it was the three
Yeah.
of us, and it was basically just like Lindsay's Q&A for Dimitar on what Bulgaria is like. So we talked a lot about Bulgaria in that podcast, and at one point we were talking about the language, and he spoke Bulgarian, and Dimitar, you said it before you said it. You were prepping me for how crazy it was going to sound or whatever, and then you
It
spoke it, and
sounds
like
rough.
but it didn't to us. Like I think it's because like like I don't know. I'm Eastern European heritage, and like our language evolved out of, and you know what I'm saying. And like I was
Yeah.
exposed to
Yeah.
media that contained a lot of. So like I don't know, because the podcast right prior to it that I had done like 2 days before was a South African podcast, and they spoke Afrikaans, and that shit was like the hieroglyphics at fucking Roswell. Like that was from another planet. And then you spoke,
Love
and I was
that.
like, okay, I can see how Bulgarian became is what it is, and where it would fit in the whole sphere of what evolved
Yeah.
out of that
Yeah,
region
yeah.
of the world. You know what I
I
mean?
think the
So,
other the other thing is some of the friends that I've had, when they hear Bulgarian, they find it's really harsh because they've only heard Russian, and Russian is way softer spoken than
Yeah.
Bulgarian.
oh,
So I think that's why their perception
We
is
have
like,
some harsh sounding sounds,
mm,
I guess.
which I can't say. Like, some people can't even
Yeah.
believe me I'm fucking Bulgarian because I can't say the r, which is like the
Yeah.
most Bulgarian letter out
He
of all
doesn't
of
say
them.
the
I can't. I'm shit at it.
did I do that?
No.
Oh, fuck you.
No. You're terrible at this.
But it's like I've had
Yeah, but more manly.
I don't do manly. Sorry.
I've had situations where at my current workplace, where I study and then part time work, I've written my name as Dobbs just because I don't want people to have seizures trying to tell it when they are on the till
Dobromir?
or something.
Yeah.
If I say Dobromir, is that like that's like an accepted pronunciation of your word?
Yeah,
Of
yeah,
your
yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah. That's not that
Except
hard.
for
Dobromir.
except for the R's, which in our version it will be Dobromir. But
Yeah,
yeah.
Dobromir.
Dobromir.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's not that far off.
But
I
then
just when I hear
and
that, I'm like Russian.
I know, I know. And then yeah, and a lot of people, for example, Wyatt Stav, it's easy to say the two names, but then if I add my two others as well, Dobromir, Yordanov, Vasilev, it kind of starts being like all
Yeah.
twisted.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and the other thing is, back home, when people don't want to, because nobody says my full name every time they talk to me, they say Dobcho, for example, some of my friends. And that's another thing I found people can't say in here for some reason. The ch is kind of weird for them to say it in a word, the Dobcho. So
Yo,
I came up with Dobs.
when you said
Dobbs.
yeah, we
Dobbs
were
is
talking
sick. I like
talking
that.
with Wyatt about tea, and he said because Lindsay, his girlfriend, is drinking a lot of tea recently, as am I, and he said
Speaking of,
they're drinking chai tea, and I was like, how did you know this is the word in Bulgarian. And we had like a 5 minute back and forth until we realized that the word in Bulgarian for tea is just chai,
Yeah.
and in Canada, chai is some
A
sort of
flavor.
tea flavor.
We
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, we have it here as well, the chai latte and
Yeah,
stuff like
that's
this.
hers.
Yeah.
That's her go-to in the morning.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a cool drink. But yeah, it's similar. And then chai, we can use it as a chai.
Yeah,
Like a slang for weight.
yeah.
Oh, it's
It's just
weight?
Yeah, you
no.
can
It's
well
not, but it's like you're skipping
letters, yeah.
some letters, and it's actually chakai
Yeah.
Chakai,
weight.
chai. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
but yeah,
Yeah.
it's when you're in a hurry, it's just like chai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold up.
I've had some
Yeah.
sick experiences with people saying a word that I think it means something because I know it in Bulgarian, but it's not like I had a Polish friend. And one time we were
Oh,
talking about my favorite stuff, Bulgarian stuff, and how I found a shop in UK that was selling our yogurt and how happy I am. And I was explaining to him one of our summer dishes, which is it's kind of soup, but it's not. It's a
tarator.
cold soup. Yeah, tarator, which is like
Oh
yogurt with
yes,
water, and then you
this
have
is my
cucumber.
favorite.
Yeah. And so I'm explaining to him what that is, and the guy just looks at me and says miseria, which is another Bulgarian word that means misery, filth, like bad thing. And I just went to him like, why are you saying such thing about the food? Like you haven't even tried it. And then he started explaining, no, we have a similar thing in Poland that is called miseria, but that's another word for us as well.
Oh, what the fuck? So,
So
what
d-
would the so the it was like a type of soup that was similar to the type of soup in Polish.
it's
Gotcha.
well, it's not
Yeah.
really a soup. It's cold. Okay, so here's what it is. It's like we have this staple like strictly Bulgarian yogurt, which is not sweet. It's just
Yeah.
sour.
Like Greek
And
yogurt? We got that. That's like same thing.
yeah, well, it's a little more dense. It's not
Okay.
like, but you can stir it up and it will like become more fluid.
You know, I say, like when I say Greek yogurt, you know what I'm saying, right?
Well,
Yeah.
it's
Okay,
essentially Greek yogurt, but it's actually not Greek. They stole it from us. Whatever. So
But and the other thing is that the Greek yogurt is still not as sour as ours. Greek is
Yeah.
kind of neutral taste. Ours is more sour than it.
yeah,
Gotcha. Word up.
and so you stir this up so it can become more fluid. You add water a little bit. You add salt, cucumber, and yeah, chopped cucumber, and
Well, you need the cucumber to balance out the rest. I feel that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Не знам как е копър на английски, но
I forgot the fucking word as
yeah,
well.
whatever. There is one more herb that we both forgot what the word in English
Is it dill? It's not dill, is it?
I think it's dill. I think it's
Yeah,
dill.
I think it's dill.
Yeah,
It's got to be dill
Dill.
because everything you've described so far is like the base of a cucumber sandwich.
yeah.
It's like a similar
Might
concept.
be.
That's true.
Might
yeah, I
be.
think it's
Yeah,
dill. I
'cause-
think it's dill.
Because cucumber sandwiches are going to be like cream cheese,
let me-
dill,
Let me
and
translate
cucumber.
that.
and it's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
similar palette. I don't know. It might be
Yeah,
dill.
yeah.
Check that out.
What the fuck is
If
dill?
it's dill, I'm calling Lindsay in here right fucking now. I'm gonna be like, I
Yeah.
learned shit about cooking. Let's go. Yeah, if it's dill, I'm gonna be hell proud.
It's the easiest soup you can make, but it's really good. It's for the
Nice.
summer. But our yogurt, what he was saying is, it's
Yeah,
kind of
it's
unique
dill.
because
Yeah.
Boom!
Yeah.
Let's go!
of that.
That is so lit. I can't believe I got that right. All right, sick.
Yeah, it's dill.
Yeah.
So you
but,
just like make huge amounts of this, and you're like you can drink it, you can eat it with a spoon, and
Dope.
it's great for the summer because first it's cold, and second it's salty, and you know well that's in the heat you better consume more salty stuff so you retain more
For sure.
water, you feel good,
Mhm.
it's fucking tasty, and yeah.
But people don't get it. A lot of people, when I tell them that our yogurt is sour, go just like, "What the fuck?" And I'm the same way with normal yogurt. It's too sweet for me because I come from the other background.
Yeah.
Yo, when you say normal yogurt, you mean like I don't know. I can do Greek yogurt. Anything sweeter than Greek yogurt, and it's too much. I'm like, back up.
Yeah, well, I mean the sweeter stuff than Greek yogurt
Yeah,
as
like
well.
the-
Yeah, it feels
Well, and
too
then-
sweet.
And they add sugar half the time too, and it's like, bro, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Is ice cream?
And
What are
yeah.
we doing? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
100%.
I think the most not understandable meal ever for outsiders is the I don't even know how it's pronounced. Shikembe chorba.
Uh,
It's like it's a soup which
Even
is
I don't understand it. I don't like it.
Mm.
oh, these young people. So it's basically
Dimitar, you're crusty. Calm down.
it's the stomach of either a lamb or
Oh, haggis.
what?
Yeah,
Haggis?
like the pork or lamb
I don't
stomach.
think
Yeah.
it's either lamb
Keep
or
going. I think
it's
I know what you're talking about. Keep going.
yeah, and it's
What the master
you're
chef?
boiling that in milk, regular milk, and then you're adding I don't know, some red pepper. You're adding what else?
I don't know. I
Salt,
Yo,
black
this sounds like
pepper.
the most Bulgarian fucking thing, dude. Is like, yeah, we're gonna pack a stomach with meat, and then we're
and
gonna
more meat.
boil it
Yeah.
in milk.
And a lot of people eat it in the morning after they've drunk a lot.
Yeah, that's the best thing ever after you're being hangover. It's like you're
You guys,
instantly brand new.
haggis. Okay,
Maybe
check
I
it out.
haven't eaten it because I haven't been hangover. I don't know.
Haggis is a savory pudding containing sheep's pluck minced with onion, oatmeal, saute,
No.
spices, and salt mixed with stock and cooked with traditionally, I can't pronounce half, in the animal's stomach.
Sounds
Traditionally
just as bad.
encased within the animal's stomach. Now often in an yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
just as bad, but ours is a soup or something.
Haggis isn't. We don't have haggis here. Haggis is, I think, Irish. No, it's Scottish. It's Scottish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds weird.
Yeah, haggis.
Okay,
is,
so
dude, it's
I
intense.
found, believe it or not, there is a Wikipedia article, and it's
No doubt.
called Tripe or something.
Tripe. Cool.
Yep. And it says is a soup made with tripe in brackets cow stomach. Yeah, that's correct. It is widely considered to be a hangover remedy. That's correct as well. So there is the Bulgaria variant. A whole pork, beef, or lamb tripe is boiled for a few hours, chopped in small pieces, and returned to the broth. The soup is spiced with ground red paprika, which is briefly fried, yes, and often small quantity of milk is added. True. Traditionally, the soup is served with mashed garlic in vinegar and hot red pepper. On point. There is a variant of the soup with intestines instead of tripe. That's true as well.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's. I
this
guess
is
it
the
tastes just as bad
best
as it
thing
sounds.
ever.
Not
Word.
my forte.
And your goal is to make it as bitter and as hot as possible. Like
There's another one that they say is for hangover. We have
yeah,
we
we
would
cure
get
hangover with
cabbage.
beer.
Yeah.
No shit,
or,
that works.
or the
I
other
used to
stuff
do
is
It
that
does.
cabbage.
too. I used to do that too. You wake
We
up
have
and you drink a beer with
ferment.
breakfast, you're good.
You're
Yeah.
brand new.
Sorry,
The other
go for it.
Bulgarian stuff is cabbage that is fermented. We have this national thing where we ferment the cabbage in
Oh, yeah.
caskets, and then if you drink the water that was the cabbage was in, that's another remedy for hangover.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that 100%.
And it's so
I've heard of that one.
salty, it's so delicious.
Damn.
Man, how can you live without these?
I don't know. I don't get hangovers.
Yeah, same. For some
I do
reason, I
better
don't get
drugs.
hangovers. However much I drink, I just don't get a hangover.
Oh yeah, fair.
You're blessed.
Yeah, and I guess another part of it is because back home the small drink is 50 ml and the large one is 100, and in UK
Depends
it's
on the
25
town
for
where
the-
you're in.
Yeah, well, in my
In some
town, it's
towns,
like
the small one is 150. So
Yeah, true. Whereas in the UK, the small one is 25 and the large one is 50. So
Oh.
there's no way you can get drunk on that.
and as far as I know, in Western Europe, it's expensive.
Yeah,
Like the alcohol in general.
Yeah, definitely.
How is it in Canada?
Alcohol. Let me. I don't know. It's not. It's okay. it's definitely more expensive here than in the United States. I think we pay like a third more than the United States, but I don't know in the United States in comparison to you guys. And I also would have to actually like convert on the prices and stuff.
My brother
So
was in America in a student exchange or whatever, and he said that in America the alcohol was so cheap. Like,
okay, yeah, we pay like a third more
nothing
than
counted.
Americans.
Because
Yeah.
here in Bulgaria, you could have a beer. Well, not this one because this one is nice, but you could have a beer, like a regular beer, that you wouldn't die drinking for $1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally, for sure. Like I can, there's places I can go for for like $1.25, and I live right beside the border, so we have like these duty free stores here where you can get
Mhm.
like for like $40 you can get 50 beers, like stuff like that, in like
Yeah.
bulk.
Yeah,
So if I go
good
to the store and I
stuff.
get like a tall boy can, you know, like the large cans, if I get
Yeah.
one of those, it's like usually between $2 and $3 for one of those. But
Yeah.
typically those cans will be like the nicer beers as well. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
in the UK, it's kind of in Bulgaria. What you pay for in the store when you go to a bar or a restaurant, it's more expensive, but it's not like a ridiculously high price. It's just a bit more expensive for us in the UK. If you go to the store again, like a pound 20 for a beer, so like $1.60 or something like this. But if you go to the pub, it immediately goes from £2 to £4, £5. So like
Yeah.
we're talking $5 or whatever.
Yeah, so if I'm drinking at home, it's like $2.50 a beer, and if I go to a bar, it's like depending on the bar where I go, it's like $8 a beer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
London prices. At London, every time I go, I'm just on one beer for the whole night because it's so fucking expensive.
Because you need to eat the other day.
Yeah, true.
Lindsay
Whereas
and I
back
post.
home, if you pay like $1 for the beer in the supermarket, you would pay like 125, 150 in the bar, something like this.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's such a markup in the white countries.
yeah,
Feels so
sure.
weird
You're
saying
getting
that.
to know
Yeah.
the slang.
Yeah,
Bulgarian slang, yeah.
there you go. Yeah, it's weird with the United States. They have the first, second, and third world. Did you guys know that classification literally just has to do with first world? It came about in the Cold War, and first world means allied with the United States. Second world means allied with Russia, so like communist ideology, and third world means non-declared. It just
Oh.
also so happens that if
Yeah.
you group them by socioeconomic status, the classification system kind of works out in a weird way too. Isn't that fucking strange?
That's weird. I didn't know that.
I've always thought that
literally
first,
just
second,
comes-
and third world is like the order in which they were. I don't know.
No, it literally just has to do with where the country stood during the Cold
Yeah.
War. But it also, like I said, ended up where it works from the economic standpoint too, which is so
Yeah.
fucking strange. And that speaks volumes for those ideologies. My God.
Yeah,
Right?
100%, yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Is Bulgaria third world?
I don't know.
I think on paper it isn't, but it feels like.
No,
so.
you would be second
definitely
because you were
feels like-
allied with Russia. That's all it is, right? Like you were
No,
part
I mean
of Russia.
from economical standpoint.
I think
Oh,
it's
I don't-
considered second world.
Just
or-
because we're in Europe.
Yeah, I assume.
Yeah.
Well, like I don't know, London or England, UK. That's a first world country.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
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 I think if you look at Europe, the Western countries would be considered first world, and the Eastern Europe is kind of the second world.
Borderline
stuff.
with the third one, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just because like literally you guys were during that period of time. That's all.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah.
I mean, Bulgaria was when did you guys not? When were you not part of the Soviet Union? When did that break
89
up?
was 89 was the last year we were under.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Oh,
89.
okay, yeah, all right. So that's what I was gonna say. I was assuming that like back then you weren't even your own state yet, which is what it sounds like. Yeah.
We were before it. So before the Soviet Union started happening, we had like 50, 60 years where we weren't under Ottoman rule anymore. So we were individual states, and then we went to the
I
Soviet
think
Union. and
we
then
were
back to-
considered something like Shire? No, not Shire. Like
Fucking hobbit hole.
not the fucking Hobbit one. I don't know what's the proper word, like a county or something, like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
княжество.
Yeah. So, because our ruler was knyaz, we were called kняжество. Oh, there's kingdom, something similar to like what a
Something
kingdom
like
would be.
kingdom, but not really.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha. Cool.
It's weird because a lot of countries came out after Soviet Union, whereas we were before it and after it. Like Bulgaria.
Yeah, if
Uh,
it wasn't for communism, like we would be on par today with countries like Austria and like Hungary and
yeah,
maybe even France or Germany. But communism happened, and they basically, one way or another, killed all the well-educated people, all the aristocracy, and we were left with the knuckleheads
yeah.
And the fucking
Which is us
drummers,
now.
dude.
and the fucking
Which is us
drummers,
now.
which we are descendants of.
You telling me, baby?
I look like Ice Road Truckers right now, so
And Duck Dynasty.
it
Love
true,
that.
absolutely,
Yeah.
like
Oh
coming
shit!
straight out of Pawn Stars.
All right, boys. It's been an absolute pleasure. I gotta
Yeah,
wrap up. I
true.
got stuff. You know.
It's been 1 hour and 20 minutes, and it definitely didn't feel like it.
No.
So
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I dig podcasts like this where it's not a structured thing, but we're just
yeah, we
talking
don't
whatever the
like
hell we want.
interviews. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really I dig that. It's really fun.
Well, if you dig that, we would love if
Love to have
you
you back.
if you could
Absolutely.
come back like
Yeah,
in several months.
definitely.
Maybe we can track your progress. We'll be your
That'd be
living
cool.
conscience, and
Yes.
yeah, see
Cool.
if Wyatt's hair is getting even more brownish.
Probably.
I
I'm
I
mean,
don't know. I'm
changing
trying to figure
color.
out what to do with mine.
honestly, man, I like you more with this color. To be
You
honest,
do?
yeah,
I honestly am like, I don't know.
it's more natural. I don't
I'm
know.
thinking of cutting it like shorter
Mm,
and like I don't know what
No.
I'm gonna do. I was thinking in the shower earlier that I'm gonna get like blue hair or some crazy shit at some point.
that'd be cool.
Well,
Yeah.
you could pull it off, I guess,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to
100%.
freak
Yeah,
out
yeah,
as many as I
100%.
can. You know.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna try and have something shorter or something because it's going too fucking long at that point.
I
Looks
was
sick,
gonna
though.
say
I
something
love long
gross, but we're on a podcast, so I won't.
Cool. Well, it's
About.
okay because we're not about to be. I gotta get going, boys. It's been an absolute pleasure.
All right, so bye. Thank you very much for everybody who's listening so
Thank you,
far,
guys. Thank you.
and we're gonna have Dobry next. I don't know, in the upcoming months.
Some point.
So
Yes.
bye bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys. Bye.